What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Flying with Garrett. As you can see, I'm in a different location. Well, the same condo, just I moved over because I don't have any furniture anymore. Today, I moved all my stuff out of my place. It's all in a storage unit for the next 3 to 4 months while my new townhome gets built. So until then, I'm pretty much homeless. I'm gonna live with a buddy just down the road, and I'll definitely make sure to get all the content there. But for now, I'm just gonna be kind of house hopping. I think I'll live there for a couple months and then maybe somewhere else for a couple months. So anyways, as you can tell from the title of this video, I get these questions all the time throughout Instagram asking about how I became a captain by the age of 26 years old. Now, to most of the world, that sounds really crazy, but it's happening more and more often now these days because these kids are, well, I say kids, people my age, are coming into the airlines so young at the regional carriers, and as soon as they get their flight time, they're upgrading to captain because everyone's going to the bigger carriers because everyone's starting to feel the pilot shortage. And if you're not familiar with the pilot shortage, I've talked about it in previous videos. It's essentially all the baby boomer era is all retiring. So in the next 2 to 6 years, these big time carriers, American, Delta, United, are really gonna feel all these baby boomers retiring. So that gives amazing opportunity for people like me and my age to upgrade and move throughout the airline industry and move your way up the seniority list, which is everything, moving up the seniority list, because that handles what aircrafts you fly, what schedules you get, whether you're in a reserve, whether you have to commute, what bases you get. So seniority is everything, and it couldn't be a better time to be an airline pilot. So I'm gonna tell you guys how I became an airline captain by the age of 26 years old. So if you've watched any of my previous videos, I've gone back in time and kind of given my backstory of how I became an airline pilot. So just to briefly review that, I went to college for a business degree at 18 years old, and then I just decided to try flying out. You know, I've been in a family where flying is very relevant, you know, with my father being a pilot, my grandfather retired as a pilot, my uncle is currently a pilot. So I've been around it my entire life, but I never really realized I wanted to be an airline pilot until I was 18 years old. So at 18, I called my dad, said, hey, like, I kind of want to try this flying thing out. So I got my private pilot's license by the time I was 19. Then I decided I want to pursue it as a career. And I decided to do that by transferring down to a school in Florida, in Daytona Beach, called Embry-Riddle. So I got my instrument and commercial multi all at Riddle. And then I went to a flight school just south of Daytona Beach in New Smyrna Beach, Florida, and I got my CFI and II. So I flight instructed, but this is where busting your butt and really flying as much as you possibly can allows you to get to the airlines as soon as possible and allows you the biggest opportunity to succeed and get up the seniority list as fast as possible, especially while you're young. So I was flying every single day, 4 to 5 flights a day. I had purchased a Cessna 150 that me and a buddy would jump in every day after we flight instructed all day, and we'd fly across the state of Florida and just build flight time. So at the age of 23, I was hired on at the Airlines. So I became a first officer on the Embraer 145, and I did everything I could to pick up flight time as a first officer, because here in the United States, you need 1,000 hours of 121 time. 121 is airlines or air carrier. So I flew as a first officer for 1,000 hours. I picked up as much time as possible, and I really worked myself down to just barely the legal minimums. And when I say legal minimums, I mean like flight time, rest. There's only so much amount of time we can fly in X amount of days and X amount of months and in the entire year. So I pretty much maximized my flight time all throughout the year. And that's a great thing about the pilot shortage that's going on, is a lot of these smaller airlines have all this open time because they can't staff the airline. They can't keep up with attrition. And attrition is just people retiring or moving on to a different carrier. So all this open time's out there at single, double, even triple premium. And triple premium is really rare to find at a lot of airlines, but my airline it's very rich in triple premium, meaning there's a lot of it out there. And especially last year as a first officer, that's all I did was pick up pretty much double and triple premium. And what that is let's say I had a day off and there was a 6-hour flight day. So I would go out and fly for 6 hours. I picked that up in open time and they throw 12 hours on top of that. 12 hours because a min guarantee day is 4. So they throw 300% on top of that. So that works out to an 18-hour payday just for that one day of flying. So you're kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone there. You're getting to pick up all this open time, get all those flight hours, and you're getting a heck of a paycheck for doing it. So that was a big thing as a first officer, you know, getting kind of my first real job and getting to make extra money and pick up flight time, which allows me to get that 1,000 hours. So I did get to upgrade. And now as a captain, this is called PIC time, so pilot in command. So when you're sitting in the left seat as a captain, you are the final authority. You know, you are the pilot in command. You make the last decision. So you get to build, it's different from, you know, SIC, second in command. So there's PIC time and SIC. So pilot in command and second in command. Captain and first officer. So that PIC time is very valuable if you want to move on to another airline or, you know, whatever you want to do, whether you might want to be a Gulfstream or a Boeing or an Airbus test pilot. They look at PIC time. That's very important. SIC time is good when you want to upgrade to get that 1,000 hours of 121 time, but that PIC time is very valuable. So I did everything I could since the day I got my CFI to get to where I am now today. And now I'm still doing the same thing. I'm picking up as much open time as possible just to build that PIC resume. And who knows where my career will take me, or, you know, I'm 26 years old. If I wanted to be an airline pilot at the airlines until, you know, the mandatory retirement age is 65, that's over a 40-year career at the airlines. That's a long time of flying, and I love it. You know, my father has been there for 35 years, and to this day he still loves going to work, and I'm sure I will as well, but who knows what the future holds. So I'm just here today, you know, to let you guys know, if you are trying to get into the airline industry and you're just starting out, or you're, you know, maybe you're still building flight time, all I can tell you is try and find a flight school / flight instructor who's motivated, who wants to pick up, you know, just as a student and bring you along and pick up as much flight time as possible, you know. Really try and get up in the air as much as you possibly can, because like I said earlier in the video, seniority is everything. It really has been the momentum to get me to where I am now. It's just working my butt off and flying as much as possible. I can't say it enough. I really can't. You know, anytime I do recruiting for the airline that I work for, and when these kids, like I said kids again, but, you know, 18, 19, 20-year-olds who come up to me and ask, you know, what's it like? I'm doing this, I'm flight instructing, or I'm working on my instrument. I just say fly as much as possible, because I promise you, you want to be here as soon as possible, because you want to have the longest career you possibly can. Sorry if it looks darker. It is because it is dark outside now. I ran into some camera difficulties for some reason, and I ran out of SD space. So I was finishing up the video anyways. If you guys have any questions about how I became an airline captain by 26, or just about the airline industry at all, you know, whether you're trying to get into aviation, what flight school to go to, blah, 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 throw it in the comments below. I love seeing y'all's feedback. I'll try and get back to everyone. If you want to, go over to my Instagram, which is FlyWithGarrett. I'm on there every day. Shoot me a DM or comment below on a picture, or send me an email. Just try to reach out to me, and I guarantee you I'll get back to you somehow. So if you guys enjoyed this video or enjoy these videos at all, please hit that like button. It really means a lot to me. I love seeing y'all's feedback. And if you're new here, if you're enjoying these videos, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next video.